Hi, everyone. Mike, okay? Yeah, so my name is John Herman. I'm on the steering committee of Indivisible Actions of Southeast North Carolina. I'm here on behalf of my colleague Sam Pierce, who was unable to make it. I don't have prepared remarks or a lot to say today, but I did just want to address the crowd to thank Sonia and the organizers. I do want to give a shout out to somebody who's kind of in the background to these rallies, but my friend Denny Best, who's the founder and leader of the Peace Monitors group. This team of all volunteers has been active attending rallies like this around the city, just keeping an eye on things, trying to make sure that the protesters are safe, and that if any conflicts erupt with friends from the other side of the aisle, that he can help de-escalate the conflict and try to keep things peaceful. So just a quick shout out to Denny Best and the Peace Monitors for just being generous with their time and just looking out for the well-being of everybody in the community. So thank you, Denny. So I just want to say a couple of quick words about Indivisible of Southeast North Carolina. Our group is really focused on sort of building the groundwork for sustained actions in the community to push back against the autocracy that's rising in our society. I think we know after this week that we're in for a long fight. There's no immediate solution. We also know that a lot of the people who we've looked to as leaders have really failed in their leadership capacity. Obviously, on the GOP side of the aisle, they've completely turned their back on the citizens of this country. Working people are pretty much screwed, as most of the other people have noted here today. But a lot of our Democratic representatives have really not risen to the occasion and taken the fight to them that we have wanted them to do. So we're really about trying to mobilize people. No one's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. It's on all of us to carry the day, to make the change, to be the change that we want to see. This week, we had a meeting of our group, and one of the things that we did, we watched a portion of a documentary about the Nashville sit-ins in 1960. And if you haven't ever seen this, it's really powerful, and I hope that you might take a chance to look at it. But there were, at this point, where there's deep segregation in the city of Nashville, an organizer named James Lawson, who was encouraged by Dr. King to teach people in the local community about the principles of nonviolent resistance. And he spent months training a group of students from Fisk University, the local Baptist Theological Seminary, and other schools to conduct sit-ins at lunch counters that were segregated. And it's really powerful to see these young people, well-dressed, disciplined, self-controlled, sitting down at lunch counters, being denied service. The operators of these locations just shut down rather than serve black people. They were so racist. But the students said, well, we're going to come back. And they just, every Saturday for about 6 weeks, they just kept coming back. The restaurant owners had thugs who basically came in, stood over these people when they asked for service and weren't served and wouldn't leave. They beat them savagely. And these young people had such composure, such self-control. They allowed themselves to be beaten and led off to jail. And there was a whole nother wave of students waiting to take their place. And then they were taken off, and then another wave came in. It was just an act of immense courage. And as we look at how discouraging things are today, I think that looking back at the sacrifices that people made during the civil rights movement, the moral power that they brought to the action of pursuing their own freedom and justice, it should instill us with confidence and with pride that we can do it too. It's our time. we can't ride on the backs of those who fought for us in the past. We need to keep up the fight. And we've got a big fight on our hands. So we urge all of you to stay in the fight, recruit your friends. The last thing I want to say is, in that spirit, we're setting up a series of activist training workshops starting in August. So again, since we're in it for the long haul, we're going to help draw on the history of the civil rights movement and teach people in these tactics of nonviolent resistance that served the civil rights movement so well, that worked in India and in many other places where vicious oppression has reigned supreme, but where people taking power in their own hands with their courage and intrepid faith have managed to overcome. And I think we shall overcome too if we all stand together. So I just urge you all to stay in the fight, and we with Indivisible are here with you. So thanks everyone. Have a great day.